Okay, so welcome back to our TGIF show today. So today just me and Gunyawi as well again.
Yeah, we stay waiting for the guest speakers.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So today we have chosen a topic to talk about. What might be the most difficult problems or struggles we have to face when trying to achieve our dreams, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with my question. So, Wei, so what about you? Or what might be the difficulties that you have to face?
So we really have to point out the consistency fast because like when we have to do something, firstly, everything is going to be fine, right? We usually thought that the journey is not very hard, but while we are working on that, the journey we started realizing that the journey is not as easy as we thought. Then we started thinking to retrace our, like let's path. At the time, some of our goals cannot be finished.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I would say consistency. What
Mm-hmm.
about you?
I see. So that might be the same for me too, because I have I have some struggle tied. I have like I have to say I have to struggle for some time when I'm trying to do or when I'm trying to achieve a habit
Yeah.
or when I'm trying to achieve a goal in my life. So lack of consistency can lead to how would I say can lead to the really draw like down back sides of your life, because like if you cannot keep things off consistently, then the things you have built along the way will be in drain.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah,
Yes.
just like that. So and also I have my own experience on that one because I remember that when I was in I don't remember the year's exact age, maybe around 12 or 13. At the time, like I want to achieve a habit like waking up early. So because like at the
Mm.
time I thought like not me, I mean my parents and I also my relatives also told me that waking up early, getting up early, it's a habit that every successful person has, right? So I thought, okay, I
Yes.
want to be successful, like to become a successful person is my dream, right? So I started to get up early, but I have no purpose of doing that. You know, even though
Mm.
I wake up, if like I get up consistently for about I guess 1 or 2 months, right? And
Mm.
then I lost hope. What's the point of getting up early if I'm not doing anything? And then like I just say I somehow give up that habit because I see like okay that doesn't fit me as well. So that's the point I want to mention is that to keep things consistency, you might have to you might I want to say you might build up uh a how can I say a certain decisions or a certain purpose for that work to be done every day, right? Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one you mentioned was like pretty perfect. That was a very great examples that most of us like have already experienced in our very, very young life.
Mhm.
Um, But okay, overall, so what we are speaking today would be all about the consistency. So because as we said earlier, that sound very easy to make a big stop, but it's also very important to keep all of your steps consistent.
Mm.
Um uh, at the same time we also have to think about like whether we have to finish it or not. Because like keeping consistency is one of the hardest job that I have ever done in my life because sometimes we really need to be strong both physically and mentally to keep that types of consistency while we are working to achieve something. So that's why if you're watching this video, so I really like to recommend you guys to keep your consistency if you're trying to do something. For example, like if you're trying to do some languages, because we are now doing the same jobs in the building language, right? So both of us, like me and Ming, so we are trying to get people speak English, also in Japanese. So that's why if you're doing something, you have to do a very big first step. It's also very important. Otherwise, like you will never trying to, you don't even have a chance to give your
Mm,
consistency without your first step, right? So do your first step, then try to be consistent. I have to say that one more time. You might have a lot of difficulties. For example, like when you're learning English, we even have already put that aside in our first video, right? After your intermediate level, then you cannot see your improvement significantly. Then you might even feel depressed because not seeing your improvement can even be a nightmare for
mm,
you. We understand, right? That's why. So if you're learning something, mostly in languages, now we are focusing on, then try to, like do everything as much as you can. Then try to be consistent, and at the end of the day, so you would definitely see um what you can be after all of your compliment and after all of your achievement. Then you would try to acknowledge yourself that I can do it. So that's my very first wish before we start our TGIF show, because it's really important for all of our viewer, right, to keep motivated and to keep consistent. Yeah.
mm.
So what about you, Mimi? Is there any other thing you'd like to mention?
Yeah, so but people must understand the fact that now so to put it simply, so when you go to gym for just only a week, so that doesn't mean that you will build up muscles, you will become shredded, right? So and also after a month, you won't see that much progress. Maybe you might see a little progress on your
Mhm.
body goal, right? But you still have to keep that. And if you, let's just say, you have achieved your dream physique after 4 or 5 years of training, at the time
Mhm.
you would think that, okay, so I've achieved it. So and then you have to
Yes.
maintain that, right? If you want to keep it. So
Yes.
still you have to do it to maintain that the physique. So in that case, your diet is improved, and also your how gonna say, your daily activities will also improve because of that consistency, right? So we can see progress in just a short term, just with a short term practice, right? So we
Mm.
have to keep doing it until we have finished. And then after we have finished, we just have to keep doing that to maintain at a specific level, right?
Mm.
So
You're right.
that's what I think about that. So we can
But
start on, yeah, what is it?
okay, sorry. I really like to add one point here, right? So now we are focusing on like to keep your consistency, but we also have to advise them how to keep their consistency. Maybe the
Uh,
techniques that what we are doing, right? Maybe like after I have already had some of your words, examining about gym, right? So
mm,
while we are doing gym, it's pretty clear that we cannot see, I mean, we cannot obviously see your improvement within fast week, not even in fast math. So that might take around 2 or 3 months, right? So, but at the time, as a, like suggestion, you also have to see your improvement to keep you motivated. I
mm,
think that's one of the technique that I have been using so far, right? For example, like why I was learning some the modeling. So we have to use some modeling before I go to on site. Then at the time I feel so depressed when I cannot see my improvement. But at the side office, I have to apply some of my skill to do some engineering drawing. At the time, I can mostly remember. I mean, not everything, right?
mm,
But if I see the improvement after coming back from the ward, I don't know where my motivation came from. So I feel very motivated and powerful myself that I like to finish my modeling class. You know, that was that was very delicious for me. So I have to take across here. So see your improvement and then keep you motivated and be consistent. So that's my suggestion. Yemi, is there anything you'd like to add on?
So yeah, I think you also mentioned is that people need to see progress so that they will keep on
Progress.
improving that, right? Hmm.
Yes.
So that kind of rings me of the book called Atomic Habits. Have you heard about that?
Mm.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
have heart.
in that way, like he somehow compared our habits to atoms, right? So for the
Yeah.
atoms, they are really like it's really small particles, but when they are somehow when they combine together, so they will form a bigger molecule and then so on, right? So just like that, so in order to start our habit or in order to keep to achieve our dream goal, so we have to start from
Yeah.
like very small steps, right? So
Yes.
for example, like you can do 1% better a day, right? So which will result in, better and better every day, right? So just like
Yes.
that, so your consistent can start with like, let's say I will make my bed every morning after I
Mm.
uh get up, right? So just like that. So if you can keep in doing that, so that is somehow you have improved it, right? So you have improved your
Very
habit,
good.
you have
That's
achieved
very
your
good.
new habit, right? So we cannot
Mm.
always vision for the outcome results, right? We cannot always vision for it because in order to get those kind of how can I say an impossible impossible goals or impossible beliefs will also lead us to get to become more depressed, right? So if I'm like, okay, within 3 months I will become the wealthiest person. That is just totally impossible, right? So
It's
within three
absurd.
months it's not really possible.
It's all absurd.
Right.
I,
So try to have like, specific goal which is attainable and achievable, right? So you can start
yeah,
with small
meaning if
steps.
you won the lottery, you can become a millionaire at the same
Well,
time,
it
right?
depends on the luck too, right?
Back to the left. Okay. So yeah, sorry. I also have to say one technique. So Nemi also mentioned that, right? Sometimes it's very, very hard to see your progress. Mostly in some, bodybuilding classes, also language building classes. At the time, when I used to be very naive in language learning, maybe at the time I was just a beginner. I also like to see my improvement so that I can build my motivation and I like to keep on going. So what I was doing at the time, I also had that habit when I used to be a matriculation student. That was I'm trying to take note what I have already done for today. So for example, like you just learn some English new word and you do some mathematics and you do some chemistry equation, you do some physics definition, and you have already drawn some biological the how do we say it's been a very long time that I have not been doing. So it's like biological drawing, right? And then you
Mhm.
do some labeling, blah blah. So at the time, I take note everything in details. I do blah. I do some the glossary reading in Myanmar, English, maths, physics, chemistry, and the bio as well. At the time, after I came back from my tuition, and then I started looking at it, I have already done enough. Then I feel good. I don't know why, but I feel good. I feel satisfied, very satisfied at the time. So there's no chance that I can feel depressed at the time as long as I can see my improvement on my paper. So
Mhm.
that's why, like Nyami mentioned, to build yourself better with like better vision. I mean sometimes very hard, very hard. So then do some no, then read yourself before you go to sleep. So before yeah, I mean, sometimes you feel depressed, right? All of us are like the normal human. We cannot always be motivated and
Yeah.
productive all the time. So sometimes, you're human. That's why I feel it. You can sad. You can do everything. So that's one. But the thing is, you also have to be taking notes when you have already completed something. Then you
Mhm.
also have to how do we say? In order to keep your consistency, in order to keep your progress, then take note, then read every time, whenever you feel depressed, then read your notes. Then that will make you feel better. I
Mhm.
promise. This is
Ah.
a very good and effective techniques what we have been using so far. So I hope that can help you. So yeah, that's
No.
all for me. What about me? Is there any technique or is
Mm,
there any suggestion you like to
all
give?
right. So if I have to techniques, I used to do that too. Like I
Mm,
note down what I will do today. So and then after I accomplish all the things at the end of the day, so I say, okay, so I'm proud of myself. And then I wrote some note about myself. that okay, I feel
Mhm.
proud today, I did blah blah blah, blah like that, you know. So also I wrote down my feelings. So I even have the notebook here, right? So
Okay.
I have written a lot in this book. And then so one time whenever I feel depressed, I usually look at this book, and I can somehow envision myself, you know, back in that time, and I was feeling happy.
Yeah.
So why? And I was feeling depressed, and why? I did. So
Yes.
after I read you know, my notes, I felt nostalgia about that. So it somehow it can keep also it can keep my how is it, consistency still working, right? Because
Yes.
right now I feel like okay, I can do this one, like you know, these are really difficult to attain. So
Mm.
back in that time, I have never dreamed of doing these type of jobs, right?
Yeah.
So back in maybe 3 years ago, mm, you know, I don't even believe myself of becoming a teacher, right? So right
That
now I'm
is
teaching
smart.
it, and also I feel like, oh, okay, I can handle too many classes. So one of my past 3 year versions, when you hand look at me, oh, so are you doing that like that? Are you teaching like that?
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's your progress.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
our
that's your
progress.
progress.
Sometimes we forgot to somehow, I'm gonna say, uh to feel proud of ourselves, to feel proud of
Yeah, very
done,
important.
right? And also to give self-love or to give self-care about what we have done. So
Yes.
I also believe that, you know, as a human nature, we always tend to see negative things more than positive things. So we always say about when we have done a mistake or when we done something wrong, we always try to criticize ourselves, right? So the negative being like, okay, so I'm so bad at it, you know, because of me like that. So but also you can also think in other ways, right? Because of me, I
Mhm.
have done that, right? So I will change it and I will somehow improve it. And also we should appreciate for things that we have done too, right? So we can always
Mhm.
say we can always criticize ourselves, right? So that's the
Yeah,
first thing we have to learn. Mm.
yeah, that's I really, really left something what you have already mentioned here. That was like be proud of ourselves. So sometimes it's quite imperative for all of us to do some acknowledgement, right? We usually try to say congratulations to others, but we sometimes forget ourselves to say
Mm.
congratulations. That's one of the biggest threat in our life. So as long as you cannot remember yourself to say congratulations, then you will never feel positive. Like you mentioned, all of us are surrounded by so many negativities. That's why we also have to make sure that we are doing great. Why we even though we are surrounded by the negativity, so we need to be positive. So, but we also mentioned that, right? We also have to say, repeat again. It's hard to be productive and to be positive all the time.
Mm.
You know, being the normal human, we cannot do that. I promise myself. Sometimes I'm jealous of other.
Yeah.
I can admit that, right? Sometimes we are depressed. Mostly I also depressed sometimes. That's why so be yourself and do some acknowledgement. That's
Mm.
our that so and then that's how we can live happily in our life. But that does not mean that we are living we are living with full of energy. So our life is not very good, but we still trying to be equivalent with our life by
Mm.
doing some note, do some acknowledgement in many way, right? So there are a lot of various ways that you can do. So trying to suit yourself with some of the effective way. So
Mm.
that's my suggestion and Yemin's suggestion as well. Yeah.
Ah, right.
Okay.
Hey. So I would say like when you are if you're watching this video, we want to say congratulations to you. So you have made this video so
Yeah.
far, and maybe you have done all the things you could, and you also wish to hope to do more in the future, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So we like to say congratulations to you again. Then trying your best. It does not matter whether success or failure comes to you.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you're doing great. Do some acknowledgement and take some note. You know, we are not academically doing well, but you are physically doing well. That's also your acknowledgement, right? And also you are not physically doing well, but you are academically doing well. That's also your progress. That's why we
So we are
cannot be
both not doing really well, but we're still proud of ourselves.
Yeah. How do we say if you're not physically doing well, not academically doing well, then if you feel peaceful in your mind,
Mhm.
like a monk, then there's
Yeah.
something that you have to acknowledge, right?
Like we say like we actually sing or like that.
Yeah. We're also doing that, right? So use that technique if you're feeling you know, how do you say if you have a difficulty some difficulties to keep your consistency, try to watch our videos and listen our suggestion because that's what we have already been through so far. Maybe we are not that much experience, we are still very young, we are we you all are hearing the youth voice,
Mm.
but the same thing that we like to say, we are doing well. That's why I hope you are doing well by acknowledging yourself. Yeah,
So
I
that's one way
think
of, persuading to watch our video.
it's kinda right. It's kinda.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, you have to watch anyway.
You have to.
So
Okay.
happy.
All right
Thank
then.
you very much.
Okay, so thank you
Yes.
very much for today, guys. And
Yes.
thank you for watching this videos. And if you want to support us, you can subscribe to our channel and also follow our page
Yeah.
as well. All right.
We
So
are
we'll
doing
see you
our
in
best
the
to
video. All right.
okay.
Okay, so
We also do our best to keep our quality videos. So bye bye.
bye.